a sense of purpose as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt growing up, especially in the UK, that when you go to school, it was you go to school, you do well in school, you go to university, and you find a job. There was no expanding the mind of like, are you actually happy doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what
Mm-hmm.
do you actually enjoy? It was just, you kind of just felt like you were following something that didn't
Yeah.
really exist.
Yeah.
Or someone was kind of, you were feeding into this institution essentially, like, and I just, it felt very boxed, and it felt very black and it didn't excite me in a way that was contributing to what I felt life was like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I didn't really finish. Like, I didn't want to finish school. I didn't do sixth form. I left like early on because it was like, this isn't expanding my mind in a way that I feel is purposeful to
Yeah.
me. Like, I didn't go to university because I didn't want to, because
Same.
that for me, like I didn't want to study something because my parents had told me to, or because I felt like I wanted to go to university because my friends were going.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, that doesn't ring true to me, because I don't want to sink myself in debt to do something and be miserable.
Yeah.
I knew that I had to find something else and that was going against the grain, and that was hard because people would question that. My friends were like, "What do you mean you're not going to university? Like, we're like, what kind of shit is that? Like,
What are you gonna do?"
Yeah, and then I'm just working in a restaurant, like washing, like essentially being a KP, and everyone was kind of looking at me like, "What? Like, what are you doing?"
Like the amount of people. Sorry for cutting you, but like the amount of people I've seen after the school, all of them went to unis and
I'm not saying it's
colleges.
a bad thing either.
No, it's not a bad thing. I mean, absolutely. If you generally want to go to uni, to do that thing, I'm really happy for you. Like, that's perfect. But I remember my mom and everyone in my family and my friends, not friends, not so much friends, but my family specifically, they were like, "So what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna study?" I was like, "Well, I don't know what I want to study. Like, why should I go to uni if I don't even know what I want to study? Like, should I just take a random course, like 4 years, spend my 4 years and then in a random course, and then just come out of this I'm basically in the same spot where I was like 4 years ago. I'm still looking for what I do. So I'd rather I'd just go against the grain."
Like, I remember asking my friends as well, being like, when they were in university, I was like, "Yeah, do you enjoy it?" And they're like, "No, I hate it." And I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy.
The amount of people I know that went to uni and now they're doing a completely different thing from what they studied. And again, like, I'm not saying uni is bad. Like, you learn good things.
It's amazing. It's an amazing experience. Like, you can look at it even from a life experience, and you move away from home and you have those experiences. Like, I'm sure that most people that go to university enjoy the aspect of just living on their own and having living life essentially.
Yeah.
Right? And that's
very good. Like, you learn a lot of new skills.
You're learning how to budget and look at looking after yourself, doing those are life skills. That's what's important.
But you don't need to go to uni to learn these life skills, right?
Do that. Yeah, I didn't, and I felt like school wasn't gearing me up to do that. And that's what I wish. It was more sort of open to the idea that it doesn't have to be so one line.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what needs to change. And I think that it slowly is changing. And I'm sure that, like, I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't know anything about that topic, but in terms of schooling and how it works and how it changes, but it just seemed crazy to me at the time. And even at a young age where I was just like, how can I pursue something that I don't want to pursue in because others are telling me? And I just was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be miserable. I want to try and lean into things that make me feel good. And I think it comes back to just evaluating your life, even though it's hard and you potentially are going against what people are saying, and you might be called crazy, but it's like, if you have this feeling,
it comes back to the feeling again. Like, if you generally feel that it's not right for you, and I'm really happy that I did that, because I don't know why I did that, because it felt like I was following the narrative of what everyone was doing at that time, but somehow I still decided to not to do that. And then and I'm really happy of the decision because I followed the feeling.
And And I think what I want to ask you as well, because I know that was a question I wanted to ask you, is what were the emotions that you felt at that time when you were